first opened in 1999. There's a good look at First Energy Stadium here in Cleveland, Ohio. Tonight, we start Week 9 with a prime-time matchup between the Houston Texans and the Cleveland Browns. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9?
Fielded just outside the goal line. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30.
The drive begins with a run by McCaffrey. Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's second down.
Well, this defense for the Browns, they were terrific in the win over Tennessee a week ago.
And I'm eager to see the game plan and trying to attack them this week, because when you take it away 4 times through interceptions, what do you do now when you go into a game? Do you decide you can't throw the ball? Do you try and run it more? Or do you tell your quarterback, make sure you see your guys open before you deliver?
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Brandon, watching their tape from last week, I saw plenty of plays like we just saw there, forcing incompletions. It was key in their win last week. They're hoping the same thing happens this time out, too.
On third down, here's Mills.
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And this is picked up by the Browns. Powering his way forward. We know turnover margin always key, going to be really key in this one. And to force an opening drive turnover, that's huge.
It is, and you know something? There's one coach on every team that weighs in at the worst possible time, right? And this is bad. He just fumbled the football. Can't you just hear him right now? Son, you messed it up for everyone on that one. Messed up our offense, and now you put our defense in a bad spot.
Edwards now on 1st and 10.
So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit.
Now a play fake, and it's Watson.
He's going to have the hook up to Schwartz.
And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. A good pickup there, a 22.
First and goal, a chance to convert that early turnover into points.
Here's Watson. And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14.
Jonathan Greenard running in to pick up the sack. Well, that's not how you hope to draw it up there on 1st and goal, CD, by taking a sack like that.
Well, they tried to be aggressive, didn't they? They didn't want to try and work their way past the goal line. They wanted it right there on that play. Unfortunately, it backfired against them. Now they have to try and pick it up here moving forward.
And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. It's a pickup of 3, but still little work to do on 3rd and goal. Watson. And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown.
Anthony Schwartz
with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year.
And the Browns use the early turnover to get on the board first here in this one. Extra point by York is up and good.
And it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
This will be fielded inside the 5. And he'll get it up just past the 20 as his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
They're riding a 2-game winning streak into this Thursday nighter. How easy is it when you're on a roll to stay on a roll given the quick turnaround?
Well, you would think it'd be pretty easy because everyone's locked in practice and meetings because everyone feels good about themselves. And for coaches, this is where they have to tell themselves, don't add too much. Don't worry about game plans as much as players. So look at your play sheet and think, give it to the guys who play best, and don't worry about the rest of it.
The throw down the field, caught by his running back. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. 23 yards the pickup there.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
There's a ball thrown right side and complete. Touchdown, Houston. Amari Cooper, 56 yards.
And the Texans are an extra point away from evening this one up.
As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Browns drive about to get started.
And they entered play on a 2-game win streak, and then they've got the open date on their schedule next week. So this is a group that's really looking to hit the break on a high note.
And this will obviously be a tough game for them, but go ahead and play this out with me, partner. If they win here and make it 3 in a row, they get to heal up after that. You've got to think that's an ideal setup and a worthy goal to play for in this one. Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed, and he's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
The Browns sit 5-3 now on the year. And they come in playing some pretty decent football, 5-3 over their last 8.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
He rifles one that's intercepted.
Picked off by Josh Jones. And the Texans are going to have it here just past the 25. And, Charles, that's now 4 interceptions over his last 3 halves of football because, remember, he threw 3 picks last week.
Starting to wonder if maybe defenses and those coordinators have identified something on tape with what he's doing. Maybe a movement, maybe the way he's moving his shoulders. Who knows what it could be? He could have a few tells out there that they're keying in on and allowing defenses to get to the football a little bit faster. People steal signals. Maybe sometimes they can figure out what the quarterback's doing just by his movements.
Throwing on 2nd and 8.
Mills.
And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So now a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 after roughing the passer.
Play action now. Mills.
Sliding out of the pocket. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. The escapability in evidence there as that one good for 15 and a first.
McCaffrey running up the middle. A gain of 3, second down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Second down and right back to McCaffrey. And he's going to get this inside the 30. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to.
And this is going to be intercepted. Greedy Williams picks it off. And the Browns are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line.
That's a beautiful read there by the safety. His zone coverage, so he's just going to sit back and watch. He knows he can't get beat deep because he has the end line to protect him. So he can react to everything in front of him, and he makes a great break on the football and comes down with the interception.
And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. Well, you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, second and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
From the 29, Watson. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. His first catch of the game, good for 11 and a first down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
7-7, our score after 1. The run only got a yard. Here's second and 9. Watson off play action. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about. And you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent. And that allows you to make a play on it and oftentimes knock it away.
Throwing on third down, Watson. He's going to let this go for the end zone. And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. Hard to believe that arm strength was a knock on Deshaun Watson coming out of Clemson, but he showed what he's got there.
And you'd think on third down they'd just be looking for something right beyond the sticks. And I think they caught the defense flat-footed as a result because they decided they were going to take a shot right there, and it ended up being a big play.
And that throw, amazingly, well over 70 yards in the air, according to Next Gen Stats. Wow. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that worked. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover that plagued it on the last one.
Mills now looks to throw on first down. And he'll get this one to Cooper, complete.
And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. 23 yards on the play. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
On play action, Mills. He'll get this out wide here to McCaffrey. And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. The linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete.
The coverage keyed in on him since that last completion his way. He earned a little more attention on that route, and that made it a lot tougher to get a clean throw his way.
So 3rd down now. They need the 27-yard line for a first.
Looking to throw is Mills.
And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
I think it's safe to say that he's made some questionable decisions out there so far. Forced some throws into tight coverage. He's already been picked off in this game. 4th down now, but he was fortunate on that one not to have another turnover on his ledger.
The kick by Fairbairn is good.
So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
Taken in at the 3.
Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. Past midfield, look out.
And he will take this one back all the way inside the 35.
But when the highlight is shown of this play, all attention is going to be on the person running with the football. But how about the group as a whole? Setting up that big-time return, yardage that we won't even account for in the box score, may help them win the game.
A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. Faking the give. Now Watson. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked up by Josh Jones.
And the Texans are going to get the football here as he gets this up past the 20-yard line. Well, they tried to take their shot right there, but the ball hung up a little too long, and it's intercepted.
And when you describe trying to take their shot right there, usually the ball has to be thrown on a little bit more of a line. You just mentioned it. The ball hung up there. The reaction time of the defenders, they win the day and intercept it.
Gets this to his running back. It's Christian McCaffrey. Yeah, this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
Mills to Cooks there, and that connection, good for a Houston first.
I think that's a big pickup for a 1st down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a 1st down. Executed it to perfection.
Mills on 1st down. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
Well, it hasn't been a banner first half for the defense trying to cover him today, but they'll take that one right there, helping force that incompletion.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Mills now. He'll get this underneath to McCaffrey. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
The defense was ready for the back to leak out and even had a second player waiting to double him up. If you're going to commit to doubling a back, you better prevent a completion, but give him credit. Extra determination, extra effort. Turn it in.
And now off to the races down the right side. Touchdown, Houston. Brevin Jordan, his first touchdown on the year, as his guys have now moved out in front. Fairbairn now to add the extra point. It's good, and they'll take a 17-14 lead. After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away. Taken in at the 3. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And they have the game here followed by the open date on their calendar next weekend. And Charles, this is a crew that you have to think really is relishing the opportunity to be on the couch for a few days.
Yeah, they certainly are, but let's face it, partner. They can't get caught looking ahead to that couch time while they're playing this one. They've got to take care of business first. I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Off of play action, it's Watson. And he will find his man Schwartz. That's complete. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. They erased that deficit pretty quickly, did they not? A 2-play drive.
What did we call that? Short-lived?
Very.
Very short-lived. 2 plays later, they're in the end zone and back out in front. We always talk about drives, don't we? Does 2 plays count as a drive?
Not really, but that second play was so good. I don't care what we call it. It was enjoyable to watch. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And right now we've got a little bit of an offensive masterpiece going on both sides, moving the football, scoring points. It's almost like somebody put the deep. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Isaiah Simmons picking it off. That's now his 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. Running left is Edwards. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. It shows you right there, he can do more than just cover in the secondary from that free safety position.
Yeah, the evolution of the position has really been significant, hasn't it? Because a lot of teams no longer have a free safety, strong safety designation. They just have safeties. So wherever the ball is, one can be close to the line of scrimmage, one can be deep, and vice versa. On that play, how about that tackle we just saw? Pretty nice.
And they're going to be set up now with the ball at the 13-yard line. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. In danger of squandering their great field position as they come up on a 3rd and 7. Quick throw completed by Watson. And down inside the 10 here before he's out of bounds right around the 7. So the completion good for 6 yards. And that's going to make it 4th down. They throw it out right complete. Touchdown! Deshaun Watson, 4 touchdown passes now in the ball game. And the Browns' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. Extra point by York is up and good.
And that pushes the lead up to 11. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
Play fake, Mills.
He's letting it fly for Cooks. And this is caught inside the 5. A big play there just before halftime. 41 yards. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Throw left side. McCaffrey's got it. Touchdown, Texans.
Christian McCaffrey.
As the first half is winding down.
And the Texans are able to cut into this lead in the final seconds of the first half.
Fairbairn good with the extra point, and that makes it a 28-24 game.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. Taken in at the 3. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18.
The Browns drive about to get started.
And with only 9 seconds remaining, well, not much time, we'll see how they play this.
And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath as we'll send you down to Orlando and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3 alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin.
Both these offenses have been in fine form. What will the second half bring us as we are underway in quarter 3? Fields it right around the goal line. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29.
The Cleveland offense ready to go.
As this offense takes the field to begin the opening drive of the second half, Charles, remember in that first half, good through the air and really all around an outstanding offensive performance.
Absolutely. They've reached the end zone several times. The passing game working awfully well, and most importantly, partner,
yeah, they went into the tunnel with a lead. They come back out with that lead.
Absolutely. NFL coaches, we know they're perfectionists in a lot of ways, but they had to like what they saw in that first half.
On 2nd and 9, Watson. That's into the hands of Edwards.
On the move past the 40. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped.
That'll go as a pickup of 32 on the catch and run.
We have seen big plays from both quarterbacks throughout this game, and there's another one right there. Going back and forth, almost like two excellent guitar soloists trying to top each other with each additional play.
And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
But you know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough...
Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it. When that ball popped free, we could hear it all the way up here. Those guys down on the field alerting everyone of the fumble. He's lucky that his offensive mates picked him up and jumped on it.
Yeah, and you have to think to yourself, and I'm sure they've been echoing it on the sideline and into the huddle. Guys, we have the lead. Just take care of the football. Don't make it easier for them to start to make a comeback.
Over the middle, it's complete. And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line.
I don't know how many times, not just in my playing career, but you and I working together, have we ever heard a coach say, you know, I just don't have that play on my call sheet? And that's really what we had here. That was a big hole they were trying to get out of.
Yeah, big gain, still a ways to go, though. Well, looking at it from a defensive perspective, that keeps the deficit very, very manageable. You know, all things considered, not a bad job on the defensive side.
I would say that you've pointed out something pretty good right there, and that is you actually have both sides happy with that exchange. You know, happy in quotes, of course. One team, hey, we've kept it within range. The other side saying, hey, we put points on the board and did stretch out the lead. Let's see how this one turns out.
Yeah, still bottom line, though, 3 points for the opening drive of the third quarter. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. He's got a man, complete. And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30.
There's no doubt in my mind that not many guys in this league have had the impact that he's had here in the first half of the season. He's been a big play guy from the word go and continues to be one with another one right there.
And that's complete downfield to Cooks. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. He got 29 yards that time. McCaffrey will take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Well, that was a quick drive. The passing game set it up, and then the running game finishes it off.
And how about how few plays it was to get it done, but they threw it downfield and then pounded it into the end zone. And as a former defender, I can tell you, it hurts just a little bit more when they run it into the end zone instead of throwing it.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. And they will not get a chance to return this one. It's through the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Browns drive about to get started. We got a brand new ball game, all even after that last touchdown. So every drive now becoming a little more critical here in the second half. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. To throw is Watson. And the ball is knocked out. And that, Charles, you'd have to think a pretty avoidable mistake.
You're exactly right about that, partner, because it all comes down to covering up the football. Look, turnovers are going to happen. They're inevitable. But in a tie game in the third quarter, those turnovers can change the tide of the ball game. And now it's up to their defense to try and bail them out. Got to take care of the rock.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. And their lead has evaporated in this third quarter. It's tied once more as they begin with a 1st and 10. And some nifty running here as he'll take this across midfield and down to the 47. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a 1st down. Well, that'll help the old passing stats. Remember, it was a pop pass, so it's not a wide receiver run there, Charles.
Well, I like the way that you scored it, and that's exactly how it goes into the books. But remember, he's had success throwing the ball the standard way in this game. And here, this little tap pass, it goes for good yardage, a little something extra in his repertoire.
Quick throw knocked away and incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise. Because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 37. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage, and tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
Again, it's Watson. Throwing right, and that's complete. And they're going to get this down inside the 20.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them. And these guys have been taking advantage so far.
In motion goes the tight end. And they'll work this down to the 15 for a pickup of 4.
But that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
On second down, it's Edwards. He takes us down to about the 12 for a gain of 3. One quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. And we're back now here in Cleveland. All even as we get ready to start the 4th. The Browns on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. Touchdown, Browns. Anthony Schwartz. A 12-yard touchdown grab. And the Browns answer back with a touchdown of their own to break our tie and take the lead here in the 4th. Extra point by York is up and good. And they will take a 7-point lead. The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. Fielded just outside the goal line. Now a hit and a loose football. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy, because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
Well, that's where this Cleveland crowd, the dog pound in particular, make it difficult on opposing offenses. It looked like they might have had troubles communicating at the line, and it leads to the incompletion. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. From the shotgun, it's Mills. And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete.
Well, they approached this drive with a lot of confidence after the last one ended up as a touchdown. But incompletions on their first 2 throws has them huddling up and trying to figure out a big play here on 3rd down to get their momentum going again.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. Now those two have hooked up for a touchdown once already in this game, that time unable to find the completion.
Yeah, it just appeared they wanted to get him out into open space and try and get him the football. As you mentioned, unable to connect.
That's taken on the 25. So a good punt there, but a nice return of 11 yards. And the Browns will take over, 1st and 10. The Browns drive about to get started. Their defense got the stop, forced the punt, and now you really start to monitor the clock as they nurse this slim lead. And strong running there as he's across midfield and down to the 49. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop?
Got a man. It's caught inside the 10. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. A big play there. 49 yards. And the Browns are closing in on a third straight win as they widen the gap further here in the fourth quarter. The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that.
The ball's out. McCaffrey lost it. And this is picked up by the Browns. Inside the 20. And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return for a Browns TD. York now for the extra point. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21 points. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. Fielded just outside the goal line. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Their mini 2-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
It's nice every now and then in this game not to see people overthink it. Just hand it to the old reliable guy. Let him pick up the first down.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. A first down throw for Mills. And he wisely will throw that one away. Well, I kind of got to give him credit. Another incompletion there, yes, but he's still trying to make plays outside the pocket.
Yeah, he's been hemmed in for much of the game. How about him getting outside there? And that's what you want to see from your quarterback. He's not giving up on this game, so every other player on the field has to say to himself, I can't give up either.
Going for the deep ball. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Now Mills. And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. Isaiah Simmons getting by the offensive line and dropping the quarterback.
We all know he's one of the better quarterbacks in the league, but definitely not today. His team trailing by multiple touchdowns and a late sack. Just a parting gift from the defense for him to take back to the locker room with him.
Mills, 4th down, gotta have it. And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. Greedy Williams picks it off. And the Browns are going to take possession of the football. Wow, between last week and this week, that's now 8 interceptions. 5 a week ago, now 3 here.
Well, he is so lucky that one of the defense coordinators I played for, a man named Ken Donahue, is not there right now. Because he saw that happen during his coaching career, and he grabbed a quarterback in the midst of a streak like this and said, tell you what, son, why don't you throw it to the defensive guys, and let's see if our receivers can intercept it.
Well, he's got to figure something out because the current formula is not working. Coming up on the final 2.5 minutes, and boy, has it been fun to watch this offense operate. Quite the display, and now they look to polish it off. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. He'll get that one complete to Connor. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. They'll run here with Edwards. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal.
Not a whole lot there on 1st and goal, and that's what you're looking for defensively. You'll certainly live with giving up just a yard or 2 in this situation.
The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal. Throwing now, Watson. He'll find Schwartz complete right side. That time the completion goes for 4 yards, and we're set up with a 3rd and goal.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
They'll look to run with Edwards, and he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. What a stand so far defensively, and now that's going to bring up a 4th and goal.
I don't know about you, Brandon, but I often think to myself, in these situations, I want a back who can create his own space, who can break tackles, and in a sense, become his own blocker. We don't have that guy in the game right now.
York able to send this one through, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3, and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Jadeveon Clowney showing the explosiveness on the sack. One last shot from Mills. Under pressure, and they got to him again. And as this defense walks off the field, they can do so with their heads held high.